Thank you for joining us. We're going to have highlights of our one-year project, which started a year ago, in March 2021. And the focus is being on community climate action for high-rise communities, starting with St. Jamestown. What you're going to hear today is looking back, looking forward, and highlights along the way from people who are somehow connected to the community. The project was partially funded by the Government of Canada, specifically Environment Canada and climate change. And our project, really, the primary goal and our mandate was to really support the goal of discovering scalable community climate actions, solutions that can be applied not only in St. Jamestown, but other similar high-rise communities across the city and across Canada.
In the city of Toronto, many people live in high-rise communities. It's just the nature of being a big city. And oftentimes they don't live with what feels like a luxury to many is air conditioning. So we have to be able to plan for climate change. And the climate change is real, it's here right now, but we also need to take action today, knowing that we have a lot of catch up, especially for communities that are vulnerable. And in this case, St. Jamestown is one of the most dense neighborhoods. It actually is the most dense neighborhood in Canada, 18 times density than any other area. The impacts of the environment is going to have an effect on all of us, but the harmful effects that we have learned when extreme things happen, such as a global health pandemic, it was those who are already most vulnerable that get hurt even more. The primary source of greenhouse gas emissions in the city of Toronto are buildings as well as homes, 50% mainly from burning natural gas to provide heat as well as water. So investments have got to be made, including how we can take action as individuals, but also how all orders of government need to create policy changes to establish the green standards, to hold fast to those goals, and to make sure that we can holistically address climate change. I think climate change should not be partisan. It's something that really we're fighting for our human existence. So that to me is not partisanship. It's about, human survival at the end of the day. Council has adopted to increase the budget. Therefore, we can move St. Jamestown into the category known as the strong neighborhood. So it sits under the strong neighborhood strategy. It's about $150,000 that will go into developing this new strategy for St. Jamestown. And what it will do is that it will unlock additional resources for what neighborhoods that are identified as an NIA. So this big initiative that is now before St. Jamestown is really community power at best. And so I want to thank everybody who worked with us to get the NIA strategy. It means that you'll have more economic opportunities, social development opportunities to build healthier lives, including mental health and physical supports for the environment. It also means that you'll get a community development officer who will then be embedded to work with the community to address community issues. It allows us to work with funders and businesses to bring new investments to the neighborhood. St. Jamestown is, racialized, it's newcomer population, and it's got, one of the highest poverty rates in the country. St. Jamestown needs our help in a different way, but it's not about creating handouts per se. St. Jamestown is one of the most resilient communities I've had the privilege of working with. And therefore the assets, the strength is actually in the people.
The youth of St. Jamestown are what makes me hopeful right now. Through this project, we've done some work with youth and climate change, and they're excited and they're aware and they're action biased.
Well, I see that things actually starting to happen here. So more politicians get involved, more projects coming in, more things open up, and it kind of feels that the community is being heard.
I really love the fact that people are now being proactive. We're getting phone calls from people of all ages, very young people like 12 years of age up to the top. And climate change is no longer discussed, at least with those people who have conversations with us, not talked about as something theoretical. It's about, hey, here's the impact of climate. Here's some things that we can do about it. Here's some great, cool ideas that we have. And I like the comment about the youth, Michael. I'm really encouraged by that as well. And youth is a lot of people in St. Jamestown because they're our future. So that gives me hope.
Yes, I'm encouraged by the people as well. We met a lot of highly trained professionals. Some of them had their degrees from other countries, but a lot of them were combining that with studies in Canada, very enthusiastic about getting into the workforce. And also the other thing that was very encouraging in the project was the dedication of the ambassadors, the work that they put into their projects. And that was very fulfilling.
Everywhere we look, we see evidence of climate change. And scientists have told us that Canada's warming at twice the global rate and 3 times in the north. So across the country, extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and more intense. And in Toronto, we know that that's no exception to our city. Like every year, we're seeing higher maximum temperatures, more heat waves, and more severe rainstorms. So climate change affects us all, but not everyone experiences the impact equally. And high-rise communities such as St. Jamestown are more climate vulnerable because the buildings that house residents are often older, have not been built to withstand our current climate. So without adaptation or mitigation strategies, the future resiliency of our city's communities, and especially our high-rise communities, are at risk. And in 2019, the City of Toronto actually declared a climate emergency. So we understand, I think, as Canadians, the urgent need for climate action, but that's the first piece. And the next piece is to take action to protect the planet and to be able to continue to enjoy a clean and safe environment. I'm really pleased to be able to celebrate with you today the success of your project, the Community Climate Action St. Jamestown. Because of this project, St. Jamestown is now becoming one of the best prepared high-rise communities in Toronto and one of the most informed on climate action. So I'm always inspired when I see climate awareness transitioning into local action, and I can see that with this project. For me, protecting green spaces and our watersheds is really important. It has an environmental and climate change impact as far as resilience, but it's also about having healthy spaces for all of us. So I really care a lot about our ravines. When you look at what we have done to bring back the Don over the past 50 years as a community, I mean, okay, maybe 55 years now, it's really pretty unbelievable.
I'm thrilled that we are here today at the finish line of this significant journey, that despite the challenges of COVID, we have persevered through, made connections, developed relationships and friendships that will continue even after the project is completed. Together, we have made a difference, and for that, I am grateful.